That phenotype is always bad news, okay? Speaking of phenotypes, let's talk about the Trotskyite, okay? Because goddamn, this is 8 minutes of pure like left book memeing right here, okay?
Of the Revolutionary Communist.
May I take some literature?
Of course, a trot is selling a newspaper. Of course.
But it is for sale. That's for free now.
It's for sale.
Pamphlets and newspapers.
I know. In a capitalist country.
Capitalism.
It's just beautiful because like it'll only take maybe maximum one more election cycle for most of those guys to openly be voting for whoever the right-wing candidate is anyway.
How much is it?
Depends. So that's all under $5. Paper's $5.
I think we can afford that.
I would say so.
Let's got my wallet somewhere we can get.
You got Venmo, Cash App, you got the way?
I like this. See, the communists have Venmo. They've got all the digital infrastructure. I like that. Well, we can do cash. What's your best book?
Oh, best book? Well, let's see. I don't want to give you one you might use. Here, how about if you want to know what we're about, brother?
That's good. Absolutely. What's this one about?
This is our paper. We write this and we produce it monthly.
How much is this?
Also $5.
All right. We'll give you.
Dude, every fucking communist group has this guy, okay? The most intense ginger you've ever fucking seen in your entire life, dude. With Trots, of course, there's fucking selling $5 newspapers. I mean, it's perfect. This is incredible.
Thank you.
This is like a left book meme come to life, dude.
Cool. Thank you. So, and my suspicion is there might be some counterintuitive alliances between the so-called far left and actually segments of the so-called far right that want to stay out of foreign wars, that want to end crony.
I mean, he knows his audience. He's going to the Trots, dude. He's like, yeah. Think about how wonderful it would be if there was this allegiance, you know, a permanent international revolution, if you will, with like right wingers and also left wingers, you know.
Capitalism and lobbying and government capture.
We need a workers' party to take down the two ruling class parties, one that doesn't have funding from these big businesses.
This is what so many of y'all fucking sound like in the chat all the time.
And is instead funded by its membership.
Yeah, I mean, you realize the convention you're having to preach to then.
My friends at the Trotskyite call, and everyone is forced to give 10% of their wage to the org and is spearheaded by a man convicted of sexual assault and accused of rape.
We're not similar on as you were talking about unification of like the far right and the far left. There is no.
Yeah, this isn't Bobavakian. This is RCA. This is Revolutionary Communists of America, not the Revolutionary Communist Party. Revcoms are a different type of cult. Revcoms are way worse than these guys. Like the Revcoms are the dudes that are the crustiest at every protest. Anytime you fucking go to a protest and you see crust, like you see an aura of crust, like a dust bowl in the center, and you see a dude wearing like a newsboy hat or like some steampunk getup, and like the outfit is just all black, and they have like these printed out, they have these pamphlets as well, okay, and they don't even know what the protest is about. It could literally be like March for Our Lives. It could be fucking an anti-gun rally, but they're there and they're like, hey, you should come to this other rally tomorrow that we're having. Those are the Revcoms. Okay. There is a guy, there is every protest. They are there. Okay. Steampunk looking, crusty motherfuckers constantly trying to get you to go to another fucking rally. Okay. It's like, bro, we're here for this rally. Why the fuck are you trying to get me to go to another rally? What do you mean? That's because they love co-opting shit, okay? They don't personally give a fuck about anything other than pushing Chairman Bobavakian, okay? The Revolutionary Communists of America is the rebranded international Marxist tendency. There is a lot of history of SA allegations with them. Trots, on the other hand, will always set up a fucking booth, no matter where you are. And in that booth, they will be selling newspapers. They love writing newspapers, okay? They are the pamphlet. They are the pamphlet party, okay? PSL moment? No, I would never consider PSL to be in line with any of these guys. Obviously, all of these groups have similar issues, whatever. But overall, I would not consider PSL to be anywhere near as bad as like fucking revolutionary communists. Like Baba Vakian said the word bitch is worse than the N word. My goated feminist. There's another breed of them too. They're like 65-year-olds with fedoras and cargo shorts. Yes. Do not go to a second location with a Revcom. Yes.
We need an international socialist revolution in order to secure a true victory for the working class. Woo!
Vivek, what are your thoughts on reparations for Black Americans?
So here's my perspective. I was asked about this when I came to the south side of Chicago a year ago, and my position on this has not changed.
Vivek does not give a shit, okay? My man said we need an international workers union because any other kind of like socialist momentum happening in any individual country is going to be immediately squashed.
Socialist America, it would immediately get pushed.
Like, I feel like you just skipped a couple steps there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, there's a bunch of steps that you just skipped to arrive at this magical place that you arrived at.
By China, by Russia, by Europe. So we need an international socialist revolution in order.
Like, I like that he's saying that, like, wait, hold on, we got to run this again. Hold on.
Popping up. It has to be international. We aren't here for the success of American working class, because the only way we can be there for the success of the American working class is the international working class in Canada and in Mexico. If you had some, and now we don't believe in this, but let's say there was some perfect, socialist America, it would immediately get pushed out by China, by Russia, by Europe. So we need an international socialist revolution in order to secure a true victory for the working class. Woo!
Vivek, what are your thoughts on reparations for Black Americans?
So here's my perspective. I was asked about this when I came to the south side of Chicago a year ago, and my position on this has not changed. I'm against race-based reparations because I think it will create more division.
What about race-based discrimination?
Wait, what does that have to do with anything my man just said? What the? He just skipped it. He was like, this is confusing. I don't care. What about race-based reparations?
That is why the only way to truly get reparations for the indigenous people, for the Black Americans in this country, is a socialist revolution, is by seizing the means of production and letting that community give themselves reparations. We don't need to be asking for, oh, please, God. I'm curious.
It's a great entry point for a lot of people who are just like exploring socialist material. One, because virtually everything that you search online that is a Marxist webpage with things written on it will almost always be operated by a trot. Okay? These are in the socialist movement. These guys are like the archivists. Okay? Every fucking website that you go to, Marxist.org, communism.org, whatever the fuck, they are the scribes. They literally own all of those websites. Okay? That's why so many people also then get heated and have these kinds of perspectives, and it's like entry level excitement for a movement, which I think then, I don't know. I think that it inevitably turns into nihilism, and then, I don't know, you just somehow become deluded and you become Republican. Overall, I don't have an issue with anyone that is an anti-capitalist. It's great. It's just, I'm more of a vibes-based man myself, because Stalin has never become Republicans. Did I fucking say that? Everyone has the capacity to become reactionary. Trot just fucking hates Stalin. Everything bad in communism is Stalin. Trotsky was the heir of communism, and Stalin was just a meanie bad boy. I think, like, look, I joke about not reading, and I'm not anti-intellectualist by any means. But I do think that ultimately, maybe historically, some of these guys have had a tendency to be in academia and have maybe pushed their resentment against Stalin and as a resentment against the USSR as a whole, and played a formative work in creating a lot of the things that you regurgitate right now, old school tendencies and old school leanings, like the word tanky, you know, like a lot of the critiques of communism in action, even if it ultimately becomes a failure, right? And the lack of interest in trying to examine previous, the lack of interest in examining like previous socialist projects in general oftentimes stems from academic sentiment that comes from intellectual leftists who, more often than not, are trots. A lot of former trots became vigorously anti-communist and founded the neoconservative movement. See Bill Kristol's father. Hasan, look at what Western Marxist academics produce. Their children become neolibs, aka Kamala Harris and Pete. Yes. Same concept as the Western Maoists talking about how the PRC must be destroyed by the West because they're revisionists or some shit. Yeah. Ultimately, I think a lot of, I'll just say it like this. A lot of anti-capitalist movements, I guess because they're like completely outside of the confines of like normal politics in the Western world, especially in the aftermath of the Cold War, with no one to like steer them in a direction, oftentimes end up fractioning off into a million different pieces over unique differences, like minor differences in agreement. And there are plenty of people that are in this community as well who come from those different tendencies. But there is a reason why I regularly either shit on every different aspect of every different kind of anti-capitalists under that umbrella. But I also routinely will tell everyone that ultimately it doesn't matter as long as you are anti-capitalist. So basically when the splinter discord splinters into a different discord, yes.
You're a supporter of the genocide against the Palestinian people?
You shit on every tendency except your own. What's my tendency? Also, you said expect. I have a tendency to serve the top of the hour ad break. Okay. Are you a DSA member? I am not. I also make fun of the DSA from time to time too. I mean, I support them. I make fun of the PSL from time to time, but I support them. Yes, I'm a Hojaist. This guy's fucking sick. I assume Freedom News is not like this. I thought this entire video was just about him like talking to trots about, I don't know, like permanent international revolution or whatever. But it turns out this guy is not, right? I don't think so. This is a totally different person.